Hello, and welcome to episode 172, right?
Yep.
Okay, I'm TJ.
And I'm Shawn.
And this is the review show that reviews anime from A to Z, sort of.
Last week, you picked Tokyo Revengers.
I did.
Out on a limb. Could have been good. It could have been great. Might be great. It isn't. It's a Japanese manga series written and illustrated by Ken Wakui. It was serialized in Kodansha's Weekly Shonen magazine from 2017 to 2022. So the anime we watched was 24 episodes, I believe. But it's still ongoing. So we watched the dubbed that they had out, but they're making more.
Well, I know
there's multiple movies. There's multiple manga versions.
And I know there's a season 2 already.
Yeah, well, that's what's in the works, right? It's a present, which means it's airing.
Well, no, I think it was in the websites. There was a season 2.
Yeah.
And then I know it's definitely subbed because I skimmed through it because of the ending of this first season. It was garbage.
But this year, there's 2 movies coming out. One on the 21st, which was 2 days ago, and then one on June 30th.
Yeah,
So obviously it's popular, right?
Right.
I don't know why, because it's terrible.
This is not the first anime that we've come across that's super popular that
We're out of touch with
we're out of touch.
Genre.
Yeah, I guess we're just...
So, I have a confession to make. I only watched 6 episodes, and that's not because I didn't have time for it. I gave up. I'm sorry. I know I could have done better. I could have gone a little harder for you, but it was bad.
It was really...
And I chose to spend my week with my family instead. And I think I made the right choice this time. Sometimes it's not the case.
No, it was really, 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 really bad.
It's just... So, similar to ReZero, it's constantly spinning its own wheels.
Oh, yeah. Just to go back to the beginning of the conversation, I'm just wondering, maybe we're not anime fans. Maybe we're just, like, good writing, and sometimes anime has good writing.
Well, I mean, I like anime as an art form.
Right.
Just like I like movies, and I don't like plays. Like Broadway, for instance.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, like, I do like anime. It just so happens that there's a lot of shit anime. Whereas all Broadway, and I'm sure there's plenty of good Broadway, obviously, right? Mm-hmm. I don't like any of it.
Maybe. I don't know. There's a lot of popular anime that we hate.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the reason why we don't govern our countries by a census. It's because most people are stupid.
That's
like, there's a reason why we don't do this. Scientific censuses, while usually accurate, are not always correct.
I don't know. Anyway, let's get back to this anime. You're right, and it continues to spin its wheels over and over and over again. So where did you leave off?
I left off. It wasn't the episode where he woke up with the girl on top of him. It was the episode after that. Oh, it was the gang showed up when the main character was trying to get the 2 head of the gang members that he liked. Then another gang showed up to fight them. He was trying to get his 2 friends to not fight them, but then they showed up and they had to fight anyway. Okay. And the one guy stabbed the leader.
Yeah, he survives.
One of the lieutenants.
He survives. Because that was the goal. This main character was supposed to save him.
Yeah, he was trying to save one of his 2 friends from dying.
And then he saved him, and that should have fixed the future. Goes into the future, everything's fixed. The girl's alive and stuff like that. And now looks like they're going to they go on a little date and stuff in the future and stuff. Looks like everything. And then of course he goes off to the bathroom, and then someone crashes the car, kills her all over again.
So he has to keep going back. It was premise, right?
And his best friend that committed suicide, and the last time was the one behind it because the main guy was behind it. And then, of course, we got to do this all over again. And then the rest of the series is him trying to
fix the butterfly effect, essentially.
Fix that, except now he's trying to become the head of the gang or whatever. And
does he ever get strong in a fight?
No, he is. He is.
That could be some character growth. He decides, all right, I'm going to buckle down.
He does nothing but cry and cry and cry. So he's the worst main character I've ever come across, and we've come across a few of them.
Mm-hmm.
He is the worst main character. It was terrible.
I'm so sorry you had watched it all. And you know the funny thing is, I would have texted you, but it was Wednesday this week, and that's kind of typical for me with a 24 episode show to wait till around Wednesday and then watch 6 episodes a day. But I was like, he's already seen it.
Yeah, I watched it.
Yeah, that's my point. That's why I was like, what's the point in texting him about it? I'd rather just do it on air and tell you then.
Yeah, no, I was done, and I was not happy with it. because then he spends the rest of the season in the past, and then he stops the thing that's going to stop because
we haven't done premise yet.
I don't give a crap.
Okay. Well, we always do it.
I'm explaining.
All right, go ahead. The rest of the season in the past.
In the past, because another guy apparently dies, and now he's got to stop him from dying, but he doesn't stop him from dying, but he stops the circumstances, because apparently the leader of the gang is the one that killed the guy, and so they change the circumstances so he doesn't kill the guy. The guy still dies, though, that he's supposed to save or whatnot. And then he goes back into the future again, thinking everything's safe, and no, he's part of the gang now. He's rich, he's no longer poor in that shitty apartment.
Did he still wake up in the room with the guy?
No.
No? He started waking up in other places?
He started... Well, when the first time when he thought he fixed it, he woke up back in the video rental place.
Okay.
Where he worked. And so he started there, and he was still working there, and things were still shitty and stuff, but, with him. And then the second time he woke up, when he thought he fixed everything, he woke up in the video rental place again, except he wasn't working there this time, he was shopping there. And so now he's part of the gang. And now he goes up and he's rich and he's got all his friends there. And then someone's betrayed the gang to the cops, and they think he made friends with one of the.
So when I had left off, they had set out the rules for when he's asleep, when he's in the past, his body's physically asleep for the same amount of time that he's in the past. Mm-hmm. So did he just pass out in the video rental place for days on end and then wake up there?
Well, no. So, here's...
they set... Before I quit, they set those rules down.
Yeah, no. It changed because the future changed. So, different events happened. So, he no longer met
But he still would have been in the past for that amount of time.
Yeah, he was still in the past.
Oh, I see what you mean. So because the past changed, he never actually went into the past.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's a semi-clever way to do it. You should have... I hope they explained that. Why didn't I wake up with so-and-so?
Well, here's the problem. They didn't explain it because it was the last episode, and then they showed us in the thing, and that the gang was betrayed, and they think his new lieutenant, because he made a friend with one of the lieutenants in the past, betrayed him. So they take him in there, the guy that they were trying to stop throughout the whole show. You would know.
Yes.
But he's working with them, and he puts them in there, ties them up, and kills the one guy, and then he's about to shoot him, and then it just stops.
The show just stops?
It just stops on a cliffhanger.
Oh, let's get you to watch season 2.
No, it didn't. I did not want to watch season 2.
You watched the movie, didn't you? Oh, no.
No.
Oh, damn, I'm retarded.
Nope.
That was a different conversation, sorry.
Yeah, no, I did not watch anything past that. I skimmed through the second season just to see how far, if it kept spinning its wheels, and it did, because it ended, I skipped to the last episode of that one, and then on a cliffhanger again.
It started...
All right, now before you
kind of dumb, but it was semi-promising.
Before you go into
the very first episode.
Before you go, now you can do the premise.
All right, premise. There's a guy looks like he's worthless. Does he fall on the train tracks? I forget how it starts.
He gets pushed on the train tracks,
and then the train goes to hit him, and bam, he's in the past.
Yes,
he's in middle school, and that's kind of just what's happening for a little while. And then he shakes the guy's hand.
His girlfriend's little brother's hand.
His middle school girlfriend's little brother, not current.
Yeah.
And when he shakes his hand, he comes back to the future, but he's alive.
Yeah. And now he can go back to the past.
Whenever he shakes the little brother's hand.
Yeah.
That's the trigger.
And his best friend's the one that pushed him on the tracks, by the way, because apparently they were getting revenge or something.
The reason why they want to go into the past, him and the little brother have devised a plan to save his ex-girlfriend, the little brother's older sister. Apparently she dies from gang-related violence.
Yep.
So he keeps going in the past trying to make it so she never encounters these gang members, which doesn't work. And then he just tries to keep her away from them, which I assume doesn't work. But I didn't get that far.
Well, no, what they needed to do is the gang is evil in the present. Mm. In the past, they're not evil. They're run by...
They're delinquents.
They're just delinquents, but the two leaders are, softies in some retrospect.
They're hard and they fight and they can beat anyone, but they have a code.
Yeah, but the second in command keeps the leader in checks, but the second in command gets stabbed and killed, which sends the leader into a spiral, turns him evil, influenced by other people, so forth and so forth. So if he keeps him alive, he can change the past. And he does. And that's... so you really need it? The show could end it right there, but no, because apparently they want to keep going this show forever. Mm-hmm. They need... It's always going to be up, Another reason.
Go change this.
Yep.
Change that.
Another reason to not do it, and we're going to do the same story for the next 7 years.
And the main character has the biggest main character plot armor ever because he's so weak. He's never, and he just always lives. Something happens and he's fine. He gets the shit kicked out of him a few times, but he never dies.
He gets the shit kicked out of him every episode. He cries every episode.
You couldn't make a more unlikable main character.
No, not any.
Just annoying, no self-worth in any aspect.
And you know what the worst part of it is? They treat him like he's some kind of hero. It's like the ReZero problem, only worse because there was a giant gang fight and stuff, and everyone's happening, and his side's losing, and they're about to give up and stuff, and he's like, I'm not gonna quit, even though he's getting his ass kicking. That inspires everybody because he's so special. He's not. He is terrible. He sucks.
He's their mascot.
He's the worst person, and somehow throughout the show he becomes like head of one of the captain gangs or whatever, and he still sucks in the future. He can't do anything.
That's something like you'd think it would change the future, specifically early on with the things he was doing. Right, and they didn't.
But the problem is the new futures he goes into, he doesn't have the memories.
Yeah, and he should. If you're going to keep with continuity, he really should get those memories.
He should get those memories, but he doesn't. He's still the same shit he always has been, and he sucks.
Now, back to the ethical dilemma. You go back we're in our 30s. We go back into the past, 15 years old. Are you allowed to have sex with other 15-year-olds?
Well, let's divide this up into 2 categories. Morally, should you, but would you?
I mean, let's answer the morally one first, okay? Because I can look like a hypocrite in 5 minutes.
Because we can debate it morally all you want, but in the reality of that situation, what would you do?
I think just about any man would. But morally, it's wrong.
Oh, morally, of course it's wrong. I'm just saying, but in that situation, you're 15 in that puberty body with an attractive woman right there, and you're telling me you're not going to do it?
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm just saying, technically 15.
That's fair. Now, my one issue was that the main character never had that dilemma. He was just like, "Oh, my girlfriend, and let's go get with her."
No, he never even thought about it. He's just like, because he was in the mindset of a 15-year-old in his 30s.
That's fair.
He was a garbage character. He had no development. They send him in the past, but he's not an adult in the past. He's still a child.
Yeah.
So it's not clever by any means.
All right. Anything else?
No, I don't want to.
Had a cool title.
Yeah, Tokyo Revengers.
That's clever. It's nice.
So I could continue to complain about this because there's so much wrong with this show. It's so bad. One of the worst animes we've ever watched.
I think so.
So I could continue on and on, but I don't want to even give it that. I want to move on. Hopefully you don't pick something that's worse than this.
That remains to be seen. The ratings.
Yes. If it wasn't 26 episodes, it might be a 2 or 3, but what 26 episodes? It's a 1.
I think it's probably unfair for me to give it a rating, but I hated it so much, so a 1 fits for me.
Yeah, but honestly, if they cut it in half and did that first arc and left it there and finished the story, it could have probably gotten a 3 or 4 because it just kept dragging and dragging and dragging. It's 1. I can't do it. It's terrible.
All right. So, are you ready to see what we're going to watch this week?
Yeah, because I have no idea.
So, you did not have a lot of things in it.
Right.
I only had, realistically, 2 options.
I saw 2 in there that I thought were interesting, too.
Close your eyes. I'm going to...
Okay.
All right, you can open them.
Okay.
Just don't look.
Okay.
You're down to you. What were the 2 in you that you were interested in?
The one that looked the most interesting was that Ulysses one. It looked really
Ulysses?
neat. Yeah, it looked really neat.
The art style of the girls looks like a mix between Queen's Blade and Claymore.
Yeah, a little bit.
Right?
Yeah.
It's kind of like there's tits, but also...
But, I mean, we liked Queen's Blade even though it was ridiculous, and Claymore was really, really good.
For me, it was... Not that one. This one? It was either this one...
I knew you were going to like that.
Or the one that I actually picked, which is Uncle from Another World.
You know, that was the other one that I thought of because I've heard of it before, but I don't know anything about it.
And I knew
Takafumi's
uncle wakes after a 17-year coma. he had actually gone to another world and returned with magical powers. So it's like a reverse isekai. He came back.
Oh, okay.
But now that he's back, Takafumi must help him survive in his home world. I don't know if it's going to be good or bad, but it's an interesting twist.
Well, let's do let's do something.
That's only 13
What
episodes.
is it called when you write? Oh, let's do a little bit of fan fiction right here and just say, which isekai did he come from?
There's going to be, I want to say harem. I mean, sure, there's magic and he's learning and all that, but like, there's multiple women.
Of the ones that we've watched.
Oh, I don't know. I don't think that's gonna.
Because I'm looking at it.
Like, is it whichever one they created? Is it going to be clearly based off of a isekai we've watched already?
I'm just saying no. If just for fun's sake, like I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, okay, that's the guy from the slime that got reincarnated from a
little bit,
and now he's back. Oh, this is what the story after that is.
Oh, that's funny. Somehow he didn't die.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he died.
I don't know how to get that far.
I want to say he died in the first episode. But yeah, like he comes back.
Yeah, and this is the story.
He was actually in a coma for 17 years. And he's an uncle, right? Makes sense. He wasn't he didn't have a kid. Exactly. Okay, I like that.
So yeah. It seems like it would be a continuation of one of those other guys.
On the box art, there's the uncle, clearly.
Yes.
There's the nephew, clearly. And then there's 5 different women. The top left one looks like a girl, not necessarily.
I didn't even notice that. Like, I didn't know there were 5 different. I thought
they could be mirror images.
That's what I was thinking. That's possible. From a glance,
like maybe that his nephew's his niece.
Yeah, maybe. But like because of the 2 at the bottom, I thought it was all mirror image.
They look close enough for where it could be.
Yeah,
I guess we'll find out.
Yeah. Okay.
Adventure, comedy, fantasy. I guess isekai wouldn't make sense because it's post isekai, right?
Yeah, it would be
that's fair.
Yeah, that's even. I don't know, but is isekai? Would it be considered isekai if you were in a fantasy world and you got sent to?
It's after that.
Yeah, I'm just asking. If you reverse it though, if you started in a fantasy world,
but he didn't start there. He started in his world.
Oh, I understand. Now this is just me asking a different question.
Go ahead.
If you were started in a fantasy world and got sent to our reality, is that still isekai?
I think the premise of isekai is just you being transported to another world, game, dimension, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. All right.
All right, guys. Next episode. Uncle from Another World.
Yep. Bye.